before we started recording, I came up with a way to see how much we are going to stay on topic. And yes, it revolves around a D&D dice.
Well, real quick, I
We
have
are going to
something.
roll for initiative to see how much we stay on topic. So,
Real quick, Silicon, I'm sorry. I just now realized my mic wasn't working.
I hate you so much.
so the good thing is it's working on my end, and I checked that mine is catching everything.
Also, I am also recording the audio on my end, so
Ha! Nerds!
Three-way recording. Yes.
Or it's just the SIA method is tried and true.
Right. So, to get us started, let's roll for initiative. Hey, 13. We might actually stay decently on topic today.
I mean, what's the armor class?
I'm just gonna go with the natural 13, no bonuses, no debuffs.
Fair.
But then, armor is very easy to keep on task.
It is because we have so much we can talk about.
Yeah.
Well, but then
Versus
again,
something like, I don't know.
we could probably roll with advantage if there wasn't here with his conspiracy corner.
Yeah, that's gonna be our one detractor. That's a -3, so we're at a 10.
Isn't bad.
No, still not bad. It's still a decent stay on topic.
Yeah.
In the wise words of who's the president on Independence Day? You have two government branches working for you, and that ain't bad. Or two of the three government branches working for you, and that ain't bad.
I forget what
this
that.
is true.
Yeah, I forget what his name is too. I'm
Bill
too lazy to
Pullman's
look
the
it up.
actor, but yeah, I don't remember what his character's name was.
Oh, let me look it up.
And there's our first detraction. While he's looking that up, so we mentioned what materials can constitute armor. Steel, leather, Kevlar. 3D prints are not a part of that. Unless, however, you do print in a material that has armor qualities, i.e. carbon fiber. Or some of the more metal filaments.
Carbon fiber, you can even, if you have a fancier printer, you can do polycarbonate.
Okay.
Polycarbonate is right quality here.
What I was getting at is it's not straight up PLA.
Let's see. A couple of seasons ago, we devolved down this path of paper mache. Like the Japanese samurais at one point used paper mache for armor. It worked great for arrows.
It worked for that era. We have to think of our current era and armor that works for us.
This is true.
So arms and armor will always be a cat and mouse game.
It does evolve over the years, but then again, it also goes down to what are you defending from? The common 3-1, piercing, blunt, or slash.
Right. And here's a fun fact. Going along the same armor theories that we've got right now, I saw a video on my feed the other day where it was talking about how we never get many samurai and cowboy movies. Those two timelines actually align more than we think.
Samurai, cowboys, and pirates.
Well, think of The Last Samurai.
And that's where I was going to go. That movie could legitimately have happened.
No, that did happen. That was
it's based on a true story.
Yeah, that actually did happen.
So the character that Tom Cruise played was actually the motivation for Yusuke or Yasuke. It's just a lot of it was if it was in an earlier time period, but it was an actual thing.
Right.
Or
Maybe
it's
I got
weird
more
how
consumption here.
I think the last samurai era, sorry, the last years for the samurai were like 18.
It was the last of the 19th century. Yeah, it was almost the turn of the century.
Yeah.
Here's a brain fog or a brain twister for you. The Victorian era cowboys and samurai all existed at the same time.
And pirates,
Yeah.
And pirates as well.
Yeah. So like, but the correlation between samurai films and spaghetti westerns is crazy. It was like it's a pure case of parallel evolution. But if you're looking for something that fuses the two, there's a Tarantino film called Sukiyaki Western Django. Amazing.
So little known fact: the last of the whole like knights and swordsmanship was also going at the same time. So you could literally have knights, cowboys, samurai, and pirates all at the same time.
Oh god.
Man, I got ripped off in the time frame I was born in.
No, what I want to
can
see
just imagine Captain Jack Sparrow
going up
running
against
alongside
ninjas.
samurai and cowboys.
I mean, you kind of get that with that World's End with the Asian like pirates.
Yeah, the Swan's crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call those samurai though.
Those were more Asian pirates.
Yeah.
Because they were all over from Asia. I think her crew was from
Singapore, actually.
Singapore. Madame Feng was Chinese.
There were some guys that had Mongolian-inspired armor.
Yeah. Then you had the Indians. Sisumbachi.
And so we shall go to war.
That voice was great, and that broke me when I saw it. And we went off topic again.
No, we're still kind of on topic. We were talking about armor.
So in the news that I have thrust in front of my face, just wanting my attention at all times. What is being experimented with inside South Korea, America, and I believe China is getting designated marksman rifles with that shoot cartridges that have a tungsten core, carpeted with steel or jacketed with steel.
So we're getting
So-
closer to railguns.
No, we're not getting railguns.
Closer.
But we're for necessity in order to get armor that defeats those rounds, you would have to get pretty much NIJ 06 at the very least, or you're gonna get what is it, armor 4+, similar to the 3+ for handguns that can stop 44 mags, but you're gonna have to get even heavier, thicker steel and AK more expensive armor in order to. But the thing is, if you get shot and it doesn't go through you, it will literally, the amount of G forces involved will liquefy your organs.
Yeah.
Ew.
I was gonna say that is rather interesting. It sounds like it's coming in parallel with that new armor material that was developed recently.
The new armor, the tungsten round is to defeat the new armor.
But look at this, the sword and shields are getting so fast that you can't even keep up with each other. Fuck.
Well, it's always for the past 2,000 years. It's always been arms race.
Right.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there was points where one would kind of take over the other for a length of time, and then but that gap is getting smaller, is what I'm saying.
Well, it's the standard law of technology. It multiplies every year. It multiplies by 2.
Oh, speaking of which, yeah, with what Microsoft just unveiled, it's only going to get shorter. Because they basically, the quantum computing that they've almost cracked it.
Oh.
I mean, it's stable. Like, that's the big thing.
My next computer upgrade is going to be a quantum computer. I'm so excited.
It's guided.
It's guided.
Skywalker.
I can't speak English due to my excitement. More or less, yeah.
I forgot who that meme was by.
Master Skywalker. Have we like discovered any budget-friendly armor places besides the ones that I like shared out the week before last?
Well, there's Nova Steel. They're not horribly expensive for what you get.
So
One shared in
so far we shared
I
the
want
ones
to
that
see
we
what
know
is,
that we knew about.
Army Navy surplus source.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you got to keep an eye out on those government auctions because the stuff you can buy in bulk is crazy. Body armor,
Yeah.
carrier, the whole
Right.
shebang.
And I also kind of wanted to discuss about up armoring vehicles as well. You can do that for cheap. What you have to a diamond plate, you can get it for like what 20 bucks a square foot, and you can just put that in your door panels. You know, sometimes you have to cut it and maybe do some welding as well to get it to fit. But it can as long as you get 3/8 inch, it stops most pistol rounds and some rifle rounds. It will not, but the thing is, it will considerably add weight to your car and therefore negatively affect your fuel economy. So if you want to be a little bit more protected and don't mind spending a little extra gas money, then definitely up armor your
My
vehicle.
Prius is fine, thank you. On the gas mileage, I can afford to lose a couple.
I can't.
So, but the thing
In North
is,
America, what we used to do is we would just take like soft armor, like like a soft vest,
Yeah.
we'd roll them up, basically tape them up, and then we'd just stack them against the door, kind of like improv sandbags. But it worked okay.
you can also do that, but like regular old diamond plate is very, very space effective. And not only that, if you the current body panels, it has that kind of curved aerodynamics. Well, that actually leads to effectiveness with angular armor. Therefore, if it's not going to go through automatically, it either has a greater chance to either deflect or having to go through more metal due to the curve and not go through it, getting caught inside the door.
Yeah. I love the fact that there's so many ways to like skin a cat, as they say, as I'm petting my cat. Yeah.
Dang.
I mean, heck, there was even a couple of things that got around on the kind of the grapevine about some folks back in the day using phone books.
Well, the thing is, paper is not necessarily weight efficient because
No,
you have
but
to
I'm
get a
just saying,
whole, yeah,
I mean, we also don't make phone books as thick as they used to be, so there's
Yeah.
that too.
And how many
But,
people are actually going to have said phone books now?
Well,
exactly.
that's another thing, right? But it was just an old school thing that used to go down. You know.
Right, and that
The old
was
Southern
feasible
Belle phone
in a
books.
pinch. Oh, did we lose?
Yeah, it's not the most efficient option, but I mean, at that
think
time
we did.
and place, it was
She-
It was
she's
an
not
option.
recording anymore.
not a great option, but an option, you know.
Right. So another kind of armor that you can use like in a pinch. Again, it's more of the
Yep.
within
just
with
back on.
within the thing of improvised armor, temporarily getting a weapons and armor spirit, and therefore using it for what it's going to be used for, and then it passing the spirit passing on where it's needed. And
We should really figure out a name for a temporary spirit to armor and weapons, and then like a more permanent one.
well, I mean, the easiest way to get a name is just used Mendoa for temporary spirit, and then the Mendoa name for weapon spirit and armor spirit, and just have that be the three distinctions.
Ooh, no. Heart of armor and heart of weapon.
Yeah, that'd also work.
Because I know we have Mandoa for heart of, because obviously heart of Mandalore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one makes sense. All in favor? Aye.
We don't have a say in it though, which is
I mean,
I have a very off-topic question for you. I'm looking through my expected mail deliveries, and you know how people get other people's mail. When you move out of an apartment, you still get the previous tenant's mail.
yep.
I have already written once return to sender on this piece of mail coming to me because it shows a picture of the mail. So I see my handwritten return to sender. It is now coming back to me. It should be in my mailbox as of yesterday.
Well, now the game is you start numbering it 1, 2, 3, right? Or doing little hatch marks, and then seeing how many times it makes it through the mail system back to you.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe I just do it down on the
No.
bottom left corner.
no.
or something.
What you do is return to sender, not at this address.
Yeah, I thought return to sender was what
It
you were
is.
supposed to do.
It is, but a
Yeah.
lot of people don't understand that nowadays.
Well, and then the old-fashioned fix is just go ahead and contact your postmaster and say, hey, this person doesn't live here anymore. They're like, oh, okay, and then cross out their name, so mail just gets backed up, and so the government can actually go through the SSN to find out where their current address is, and then send it over there.
Oh, you're talking about like on the 2 section, just black market or something?
Well, no. Well, you physically have to show up to the post office and then say to the clerk is like, hey, this person doesn't live at this address anymore. I got their mail. It needs to be, and then that's the only way the postmaster can access the list of names and
Right.
social security numbers.
See, this looks like it might be a W-2.
Yeah, that.
Ooh.
So that would definitely be a postmaster / IRS question.
Yeah.
Or I could go to the what looks like the employer. I'm not obviously not going to say who it is, but I can
Yeah.
find that employer near me and say, it's like, hey, I'm getting this person's mail. Talk to them.
Yeah.
Because obviously this person might want this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sensitive information that they need.
Right.
I still haven't
I
gotten my
thought
W.
writing return to sender would send it back to what I now know as their employer. And
I still haven't gotten my W-2 in the mail.
dude, I got mine in the mail. I didn't get it in the mail. I accessed it in the ADP app.
Yeah.
So it
I
doesn't
filed within the
what
week.
items are
I've already gotten my $40 federal return back. Now I'm just waiting on my, I think, $240 state return.
I've gotten my required tax information at the end of January, and I've still yet to do my taxes.
It's hit and miss. If I'm gonna owe, I'm gonna push that off until like tax day.
Yeah.
But if it shows I'm gonna get money back, yeah, I'm gonna fucking file that shit right away.
Well, but
Alright.
I'm
I was gonna say, guys, if I immigrate to the U.S., you guys are gonna have to help me out figure this shit out.
Dude, half of us still don't even
Hey, you know what the fuck we're doing?
we're literally
The IRS doesn't even know half the time. They're like, yeah, you owe money. Okay, how much do I owe? We don't know, but we know you owe. What?
We know you owe. We know how much you owe. And if you don't know how much you owe, we're gonna come after you.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's pretty much the same here. Gotcha.
Well, hopefully the IRS getting audited themselves will maybe lighten up stuff for us. Be like, hey, I don't like being audited. Maybe I won't audit everyone else.
But you know that's not gonna happen.
You all must be feeling right now.
I want taxes to be taken away.
went.
supposed to be taxed.
This part are probably gonna need to get edited out because we're getting so-called political. We went to war. We went to revolution over a 1% tax.
No, it's 1% to 3% tax. It was a 200% tax increase.
Yeah. We're at like 25 to 30% tax right now.
Mm-hmm. But not only that, but our tax dollars are getting taxed multiple times. So you have income tax, you have sales tax, you have what is it? You have property tax, you have what is it called? Inheritance tax. You have you have to get your car tagged. You have to get your you have to pay for the roads. You have to pay for all.
And they don't even fix half this crap.
The roads that everybody knows that they pretty much embezzle the road funds. Every politician does it.
The alcohol tax.
The alcohol. Well, yeah, that's the
alcohol, ciggies, ammunition taxes,
gas taxes, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So you want me to edit all of the tax stuff out, right?
As long as we keep it as apolitical as possible, we're not arguing on anything. We're just talking facts.
At least there's no tax on armor. Circling back.
I agree. No tax on weaponry or armor.
Yes.
100%.
And hopefully, at some point, we may be able to claim the religious exemption on the tax.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I have something I'd like to share.
Okay, what you got?
So I have a karambit on me. That's my chosen weapon that I like to keep on me at all times.
Yeah.
So I tried to I was chauffeuring a neighbor to the courthouse because he has had business he needed to do there, and I tried to go in, and I it's a courthouse, right? Federal rules. Remove all your gubbins, go through the metal detector, yada yada yada. So I basically said, "Nah, this needs to be on my person," but like I put it in the bin to get X-rayed, and they're like, "Nah, you can't have that." I'm like, I'm just gonna go pee, and they're like, "No, you can't have it if you're in this building." And I'm like, "Okay, then I just won't go in." And I says like, "I'll just go to the restroom in a private place in the parking lot." Thinking that they would come after me and try to bust me for indecent exposure. So I went back to my car, and I was looking around. I didn't see any law enforcement trying to come after me. So it's just like I tried my best to follow, even though it's against the letter of the law. I didn't push my luck. I didn't try to escalate. I just said, "All right, I won't be on your premises, as you're supposed to do. Don't start none, won't be none."
Right.
And that is the correct way to go about it. It's if somebody doesn't want you without, weapons or armor, don't go there.
So I will also state, I'm happy that was the choices you made. It's definitely more productive than trying to argue it in this situation. But if you recall in some of the sermons, we are, if in a law enforcement or we go to a place where we have to disarm, it's not really looked at as shameful. So don't be scared to sometimes comply unless they're going to throw your shit out and then.
Well, but that's the thing. So I don't really negotiate with terrorists, and therefore, how they're behaving now, cops are more aligned to gang because they do gang activity or gang similar activity. So
yeah, 100%. Our DPD stood up and said we're the biggest gang in Vancouver.
Right, and I kind of said to my friend, kind of tongue in cheek, very very sarcastic and joking manner. It's just like, yeah, the only reason why I complied is because they have me outgunned. I was just making light of if I had more than what they had, or the two officers.
Humor.
Yeah, exactly.
Very
Moment of dark humor. And I'm like, I still wouldn't have done anything, even if I had the power to.
Yeah.
So that.
I should just remind you that it was in those situations, it's not shameful for us to disarm.
It's not shameful, but for me, I refuse to do it, especially for freaking law
No,
enforcement.
100%. That's
Even if they
also
are a
why,
good,
like, I'm happy you found a way to kind of like
even if the
keep. You know what I'm saying?
individual, yeah, no, I totally understand. But even if the individual cop is a nice person, they're having to, they're the institution, just the nature of the game means they have to be, hard ass, Ras McGee, and it's going against, taking care of your community if you actively fight your community against stuff. Now, I will say the cop tried to compromise, and one of the supervisor, I guess it was a sergeant, if I remember, I didn't get a good look at his sleeve, but he offered, to personally, keep a hold of it while I went pee. But I'm like, nah, that's not gonna happen.
Oh, fair enough. But I think at least he tried.
Yeah, well, at least I tried, and I tried. It's like, hey, it's my religious freedom, and I asked him, it's like, well, what happens if a Sikh walks in here? They need to have a weapon on them too, and they didn't budge. They're like, well, they're not going in here, and I'm like, so you willingly admitted that you trample on religious freedom, aka violate the First Amendment, in order to, keep the letter of the law.
Unfortunately, that's just coming back to armor specifically, like the covert armor I was talking about a couple weeks ago. That like is a tank top that you wear underneath everything. Like, would I have to go to another room and completely like strip down to take that armor off? Like,
I mean, if you would be required to strip, I think you just wouldn't be required access to the building and would have to do that, in privacy somewhere, and then get access to the building. But that's actually interesting. Take or D cartridge my plate carrier and have just my plate carrier and put that in the tray to be scanned, and see if I'm not allowed in, then it's not a weapon, then it's a violation no matter what.
that's the thing though. Like, if I'm wearing like covert plate armor and I go through a what's it called?
And
Metal scan, like
Yeah.
it's gonna set it off. But I don't want to have to
depends
freaking
on the material.
Yeah. So most soft armors actually use a kind of like a plastic material, or they use a more of a dirt or plastic, or like movable. What is it? Kevlar.
I want to be wearing that.
Not plastic, but like it's soft armor. You can like bend it, you can fold it, and yada yada yada. That's what it was.
Well, I guess I thought that the one that I had shown was a metal like plate, but I'll have to look at it again because I thought it was like
Yeah, it was a armor plate that sat center in the organ, the dead center mass of the torso.
Right.
right.
But again, that's going to depend. Like I said, it will depend on the material used for the armor plate itself, on whether it's going to trigger the metal detector or not.
I mean, if you can stealth it, and then just be prepared if somebody does find out or calls it out. You just have to take the ramifications of your actions.
But I mean, armor isn't illegal except for
Yeah,
New York.
You can't pull in.
So if anybody says, "Hey, you can't have armor," it's like it's not a weapon. If there's like, and
I mean,
it's illegal, as far as I know. It's a legal impasse, and we are not lawyers, so we don't necessarily know ourselves.
Yeah,
And so
we are not lawyers. We are not giving legal advice. Consult your lawyer for legal advice.
right, and preferably the right lawyer, because not all lawyers are privy to the same laws, because the compendium of actual, you know, the bar is pretty thorough, and only some lawyers, specialize in general law, and even they don't know all the laws, because
Why?
the system is meant
People
to
have to look it up themselves.
yeah, the
It's like-
system is meant to punish and enslave and make things difficult.
Well, as a show once said, government's really only good for getting in a man's way and taking from his pocket.
Yep.
Yep.
Firefly.
Yeah.
But in Canada, so here's a weird thing. That's kind of a difference. So they rigged it so I can't buy body armor of a ballistic value. At least here, gray zone shipping it over. Without my firearm license, my PAL. Right.
Right.
So it's kind of dumb to me because it's like, so I am not allowed to defend myself in any kind of lethal level, but now I'm not allowed to defend myself passively. If you
Right.
catch what I
Well,
mean.
yeah. Well, the crown wants you to be a serf and wants you, to be nothing but a serf. Because I think it deals with a lot of French versus Britain, because there's a lot of, so like say in
Well,
Quebec,
that
there's
law's a little more new to come in. It came in the last 15 years or so.
well, yeah, but I think it's because there's still a lot of bad blood.
A little bit, but not the same way it used to be. Well, so here's the thing. I think the legal kind of tactic they were trying to go for was because you didn't have to have a firearm license to buy armor, gang members could just go to a store, buy body armor, right? And now it makes the cops' job a whole lot harder, right?
Oh no! Anyway,
do that legal thing. Anyhow, that's the semantics of it. Anyhow,
yeah,
it's not because as a Canadian, I feel like I don't have an option to protect myself. You know what I mean?
if somebody tries to get at you, just go over to Wyoming and we'll got you covered. So I guarantee you, there's no BP there. I guarantee you, because Wyomingites are so freaking nice, and Canadians. What's this? Saskatchewan? Wait, how do you say people from Saskatchewan?
Saskatchewanians? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, those rednecks are usually extremely nice as well. So
I mean, Oklahomans are similar.
Put a little bit of a twang in my voice, throw on a baseball cap, and I'd blend right in.
yeah, pretty much.
I mean, Oklahomans are similar. I mean, we mainly band together after tornadoes, but otherwise, it's you mind your business, I mind mine.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily a bad community kind of idea. And when times are hard, you all can rely on each other, but normally just keep to yourself to keep your own business.
Right, and it's what's more important than keep to your own business and won't be none kind of thing is that it's not necessarily even just mind your own business, but more of a hey, what you up to? How can I help? If it within the next 5 seconds, and not necessarily giving people money, but it's like hey, I'm gonna hold the door open for you. I'm gonna help this old biddy get groceries to her car. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Within that can be easily done. Yeah, right. And that's the best way to go about
it. Yeah. And so I mean that was an interesting little side conversation.
But then that also I'll say that's also a form of I guess a coercion to where if you're being a helpful guy and somebody's trying to victimize you, you have more people willing to say, "Oh hell no, you're not going to touch the sandwich man." There's a little Reddit picture of about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know. Yeah, there was a lady who used to stand with the homeless, and she basically could walk around any part of the city with an S on her chest because nobody would mess with her because she was so nice,
Right. And so it's kind of like using that as kind of like camouflage, in addition to your soft armor, your what is it? What is the word? I'm failing the English language. Your covert, behind or like your under armor or whatever that you'd wear, your soft armor.
Essentially.
Your what?
It's the Clark Kent defense.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like yeah, but with the Clark Kent defense, his thing was he wanted to be bullied. He wanted to be thought of as meek.
Right.
But instead of you want to, it's like if you're a gym guy, nobody's going to want to victimize you. Yeah, what's up, Panda?
That brought me with the Theodore Roosevelt. Speak softly and carry a big stick.
Right. Yeah, one of my drill instructors, he would always he wasn't necessarily as dickish as the other ones, but he would always tell us all the time, don't like don't mistake his gentleness for weakness. So you can still be a great person, you can still be a powerful person, but still capable of goodness.
I just remember the line from
I'm not a good
After
person,
Rap
I'm a
Battles
fair
of
person.
History.
One at a time.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna tangent. You first.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I often tell people that I'm not a nice person, but I am a fair person.
Yeah, and it's best to ride that line of, man, that guy's a dick, but he's fair.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I often know I come off rather harsh or abrasive, and it's just because I don't have time for like wasting energy
Wait.
on frivolous niceties, you know.
Well, there's only so much you can do in 24 hours of the day, and you already have to sleep 9 of it. So it's just common knowledge to where if you want to do stuff in your community, if you want to do wear armor, because I know armor is very heavy. I wear for a time I wore it nonstop for like a year and a half, and it's about 20 pounds. I had good abs back then, a year or two ago.
Great core strength.
Great core strength. And but the thing is, there's always so much energy you have. So whatever somebody does choose to do not spread yourself too thin. It's similar to being on a plane. For those who have been on a plane, they always tell you, if depressurization happens, always put your mask on before you help your neighbor.
Right.
And even for parents, to kind of go against parental instincts
and the kids.
Exactly.
You can't save yourself if you're deprived of oxygen.
Right. And so it's that kind of thing to where if you're spread too thin, you can't, if you notice somebody being victimized, you can't act in their stead. You can't, defend somebody. You can't, do X skill to maintain, the peace if you're just exhausted.
Right. So I think we're at about the 45 minute mark of content.
And I've unfortunately been talking for most of it. I apologize.
And that's fine. That's part of the job.
It's
So, Gurge,
pretty on topic.
it's time, Gurge. Put on the tinfoil hat.
Hell yeah.
Oh, it's tinfoil hat time, purely just of my own machinations. Concerning some world events, I wonder if Canada is going to be split up between Russia and the USA.
You're gonna have to explain that one. I don't watch a lot.
All right, so some interesting things have been found on some we'll just say expired combatants from Russia. One of which is a rather prevalent morale patch that loosely translates to take Alaska back. And I mean, with like certain other government agencies talking about like integrating Canada, right? And I wonder how long it'll be before it becomes a business deal.
Yeah.
We get this half, you get that half. Good to go.
Split it down the middle. Either north to south or east to west.
Probably east to west.
Probably north to south.
I wager.
I don't think anybody would want Russia that close to.
No. Think about it. North to south. The whole north part of Canada, uninhabited. Give that to the Russians.
It's actually inhabited.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what you mean. You mean east
So-
and west to give them the north half.
So
It's inhabited. It's just not a huge population density.
yeah,
I
but
mean,
it would be
Alaska.
a huge tactically it'd be a huge risk because you have Russia getting a majority of the Arctic Circle of the world.
Very true.
And so you can literally from the western bit of Russia, it's literally like a straight shot to the north of Alaska. You know,
Yep.
just and so that would be practically that would be too freaking good of a deal.
I mean,
Too good of a
yeah,
deal.
this is another thing too. Is like a lot of folks don't seem to realize Canada's a lot closer to Russia than most other countries.
Right.
Yeah,
And like,
comparing-
I live on a temperate coast that has, you know, let's just say has a lot of coastline to try and defend, and not enough people, 100%. We
And
actually employ a lot of the Aboriginal groups.
have you guys heard?
to give them guns and ammunition, and while they're hunting, they're also technically members of our military patrolling some of our more further out.
Well, going on with the whole
Right.
conspiracy thing, have you guys heard what's going on in Germany?
Oh, what's up in Germany?
I can imagine what's going on in Germany. Go on.
A
There's
certain group may be coming back.
there's a group called the AFD
Mm.
that is, lack of a better word, the new Nazis.
The new mustache man follows.
And they are gaining more support than the other factions in Germany.
You know,
That's
it's just
scary.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's messed up. I hope that is something that gets
Well, it's also one of those things. The Germans know. But again, the loudest voices are sometimes most of the time are the dumbest voices.
Yeah.
Just like here in America, the loudest ones are normally the minority. But it's something to keep our eyes on as a world as a whole.
Yeah,
I mean-
not as the keepers. That's not our job.
You
Yeah.
can always drop another sun on people and have them.
Oh, is that the Beatles I hear? Here comes the sun. Na, 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 na.
No, I actually need to get a hold of some of my German friends, find out how they
Yeah,
feel about it.
Let's do a little news section to the tinfoil hat time. Everybody share a tinfoil hat theory.
Yeah, I'm gonna refrain from not.
Yeah. I don't want to steal the spotlight from the local pariah.
It's okay, I understand. I talk about the conspiracies and my viewpoint is discredited. I understand.
Now you're getting it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Welcome to America.
Hey, see some things and perceive everything.
Something like that.
Oh, what was that Assassin's Creed? Everything is a lie.
Everything is
Nothing is real. Everything's permitted.
nothing is true. Everything is
Yeah.
permitted.
I mean, they're not wrong.
Unfortunately, not.
So I think we've effectively reached our time. So it is that time. Thank you, everyone who has joined us on the lives. Thank you, everyone who will join us on the post-edit upload.
Which you
We
should check
appreciate
out
everyone.
because our wonderful Battledorf does some amazing things to the after parts.
Yes, you need to go watch the edits.
Yes.
Especially the last one. I loved the upload of where we were talking about Elizabeth Swan and the Pirates of the Caribbean, or the Caribbean, however you want to pronounce it.
Yes, I had fun with that section.
I bet you did. I have been your host, Kadali Keyboard, along with our co-host, Kendall Grafia, Arenat Banao, Dirge Delamore, our local pariah, and our lovely battle dwarf, Solakan Adika. We wish you a great week. Be safe. Don't add to the population. Don't take away from the population. And if you do something stupid, record it for the grandkids. Signing off. Ebik Rooney.
Ubiquity.
Is this the way?
All right. We are done.
Woo! After hours. Yay!
I don't know
So
how
what-
much editing you'll want or need or have to do on that
Yes.
last part.
Keep it just in case.
Mhm.
Okay. This time I actually recorded it, so you